Okay, here's a quick test for hip abductor strength in runners. We talked about the importance of that if you're going to hold up to high mileage training. The base test we'll use for that is to do a side plank, hold that position, and then raise the top leg. And I would say you need to be able to do close to 30 of these in order to hold up to high mileage. It's a general rule. I think these are not easy, and if you have not done side planks before, we get a lot of people in here that can't even hold a side plank. I'd say you've got to be able to hold the plank itself for 60 seconds before you start doing abduction.
Now, how about anybody with some strained knees? Are they going to have a big issue with holding that position?
No. The strain on the knees comes from impact or from the position of the knee over the foot while you're running. When you're on your side, this doesn't bother your knee at all. No, this is a big test for your abductors and for your obliques, especially on the downward side. You really feel it through here. It's not just the leg you're raising, but you're getting both.
Hey, I'm sitting here, it looks like it hurts.
I'm working.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm doing it on the other side to demonstrate the importance of symmetry when it comes to strength and flexibility as a runner. If you recognize that you have a stronger side with certain exercises, chances are you have a flaw in biomechanics on that side too that will increase your injury risk. So when we do these, if we see people that can't do as many leg raises on one side as they can on the other, that generally will translate to your running form when we do the video analysis of when you're in stance on one side, that weaker side, you're going to have this hip drop. And that causes the stance leg hip to go out to the side, increases the angle from the hip to the knee, and is yet another thing that adds to the chances for knee pain or IT band problems in runners.
How difficult is it to get runners to change the way that they've been running?
It's very difficult unless they have pain. If we find something that a change in mechanics results in the elimination of pain, they could change pretty quickly. There's some little things that are minor changes, like we may look at stride rate. Overstriding may be a problem, and just by increasing their turnover and stride rate, pain goes away, mechanics look better. That is a relatively easy thing to change for most people, at least over the course of a couple weeks. We've had people change easily from heel strikers to forefoot strikers if we thought that was part of their injury history. We've had some where it just doesn't happen. It really differs person to person, but if pain is improved by improving mechanics, it's a lot more likely. If you just take someone and you think you're inefficient, I'm going to improve your performance by working on these mechanics, it's much harder for them to see why that is important or feel a difference, and it's probably not going to happen.
Now, in order to work on mechanics for a runner, they usually have to slow down the amount of training or decrease the amount of training that they're doing, which psychologically is difficult not only for the runner but also for the coach who is trying to get their athletes to peak at a certain time of the season.
Sure.
If coaches came in here, could you help them with methods to work with their athletes in order to keep their training at a certain level but also improve their mechanics?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say that timing of it is certainly big. If you're talking about mechanics, this is the time of year to try to make those changes when you're not in a high mileage phase or trying to peak to finish a season. If you're trying to tweak mechanics, again, whether for injury or performance at the wrong time, that is very difficult. There are ways you can work it in, but you have to do it in short bursts. And that can be part of a training session, certainly, but it's more than just learning the techniques. It's a great point that timing it is very important.